Hey, Triple B here. We've got another Regidrago V-Star list. If you haven't seen the first video, there should be a link popping up for it on the screen right now. Built with the Rillaboom engine, whereas this one we're going to be trying it out with the supporter card Gardenia. So Regidrago has a very unique attack in Apex Dragon. For 2 grass and a fire energy, you get to choose the attack of any of your dragon Pokemon in the discard pile and use it as this attack. Dragon Pokemon do have some very unique attack costs, usually costing fighting, steel, water, sometimes lightning. It can be a little bit awkward finding ways to make them work. So having Regidrago just to be able to go, all right, I just need 2 energy types. There's a few ways we can get them set up, and then I have access to all of these attacks. It's a very powerful toolbox Pokemon we can work with. Also has a really unique V-Star power in Legacy Star. During your turn, you get to discard the top 7 cards of your deck, then put 2 cards from your discard pile into your hand. So if you need to find outs to some supporters for drawing cards, maybe you need that Gardenia to accelerate some energy out, we can get into it that way. And by discarding cards, we're also going to be getting those dragon Pokemon into the discard so we can be using their attacks. In regards to the attackers though, we've got quite a few in here. So we've got Goodra V-Star with Rolling Iron. It does 200 damage, and then during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 80 less damage from attacks. So we're effectively half hitting our opponent and then making them struggle to take knockouts into us. To get one-shots, we've got Giratina V-Star with Lost Impact, 280 damage. You do have to put 2 energy cards from your Pokemon into the Lost Zone though. It can be a bit of a penalty to take, but if we're taking one-shot kills, it's a pretty effective trade to be going for. We've also got Duraludon VMAX with Gmax Pulverization. It does 220 damage. This attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon though. So if they're running Goodra V-Star we just mentioned before, where they're taking less damage, we're just going to ignore it and goes right through it. Then with Miltank that says V Pokemon can't hurt it, just ignore it, go right through it. It's pretty effective, and doing 220 damage, it is a really nice number to hit. You're going to be one-shotting Vs. Give it a choice belt, brings it up to 250. You can be setting up some knockouts, and that actually combos really nicely with just the base Regidrago V's attack. Dragon Laser does 130 damage and 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if we're doing Duraludon's attack with a choice belt, 250, bounce that to the bench, and then do Dragon Laser into something and hit 30 onto that guy on the bench, or if they're just trying to dodge us, we can be taking snipes that way, which is pretty effective. For some other attackers, we've got Dragonite, has Energy Hurricane, 180 damage. Search your deck for 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like. It's just an effective way to knock out things like Crobats and Luminions, and then set up another Regidrago on our bench to be ready to attack if we get knocked out. Also got Appleton, so up against Lugia, they're going to be running a lot of special energy cards, and for each one in play, we're going to be doing 70 damage for it. It scales up really nicely. They attach 4 to be able to charge up a Lugia. We're going to be doing 280, which is just enough to knock out a Lugia. It's pretty good numbers to be hitting. And if they have 5 out, we're doing 350, and nothing's going to be surviving that. Another one we've got is Garchomp V with Sonic Strike. You do have to discard 3 energy from this Pokemon to use the attack, but it does 220 damage, so you can be sniping bench Vs pretty easily and be taking some key knockouts if we see our opponents struggling to set up and we're just trying to kill them before they evolve up into things. For the VMAXs, we've got Flygon V with Draconic Impulse, does 160 damage, and if the active Pokemon's a Pokemon VMAX, we're going to do 160 more, bringing it up to 320. We're knocking out Mew VMAXs, attach a Choice Belt, 350. We're taking out Curums, Duraludons, Eternituses. It's a very effective attack to have. For some draw support, we've got 1 copy of Crobat V and 1 copy of Radiant Greninja. And then since we are focusing on Gardenia's Vigor, you do draw 2 cards and then attach 2 grass energy from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. We're going to need some ways to make sure we have grass energy in our hands at all times. So if we have some in the discard, we can use Energy Retrieval, grab 2, put them into our hand, or Training Court to just each turn get an energy back. So if we need a Fire Energy or a Grass to set up our Regidrago V-Star, we've got access to that. For Switch, since it is key there on the bench, we've got 1 copy of Escape Rope, 2 Switch, and then 1 copy of Air Balloon. Would be nice to have a bit more options for that, but effectively we only need to get Gardenia off once and then just go into Dragonite's attack to be chaining into another Regidrago for the following turns. For supporter line, we're looking at 2 copies of Boss, 4 Professor's Research, and 3 Serenas. So we've effectively got 5 Gust cards here, and what's that, 10 options to be able to draw as well. A lot of options to get through the deck very quickly and set up all of our attackers. For tool cards, we've got 1 copy of Big Parasol to counter Yveltals and those paralysis decks that are running around. Articunos, Zekroms, they're doing small amounts of damage, but just trying to lock you out of the game from being able to attack. So we've got Parasol to prevent that from happening, and then Choice Belt to fix up some numbers. For energies, we're looking at 3 copies of Fire Energy and 7 basic Grass energies. That's the deck list. If you like it, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you've been struggling to find time for gaming, because do you have time to cook? Do you have time to game? why not check out HelloFresh? They're a sponsor of the channel now. Follow the link in the description below. It'll set you up there and help support the channel. What they do, they'll send you food right to your door. It's all prepped and ready to go. You just need to cook it. So you're getting healthy food and just frees up more time in your day to be able to do the things that you enjoy. But let's hop on ladder and see how we go with this tonight.
Oh, that can just go away. Can just politely go away. That's what we're gonna roll with. So is it Vikavolt Palkia box or just a straight Vikavolt? Vikavolt Palkia, okay. Be an interesting one. I don't think I've played this deck yet. Them putting out Crobat's pretty nice though, because if we can get online and have Goodras in play, being able to just like gust up a Crobat, kill it with Goodra's attack, take less damage is nice. And like even this we can kill with Goodra's attack with Choice Belt and just make it trickier for our opponent. And that not so much on the evolves. Aw, come on. Thank God. It's just the bench though, right? Yeah, I think we still do it. That sucks. What do we just discard there then? Research, quick ball, retrieval? Shit. Alright, so Palkia can get online. He's doing 60, 160, 200. So that gets a knockout against us. Not in a great way here. We can use item cards still though. So he knocks this out. We'll put Greninja in the active. Maybe get into an energy or a research or... Okay. So that can become an energy to ditch with Greninja. If we can get into a research, we're looking alright. We didn't. So we do that, we get rid of Goodra Giratina. That getting through effects doesn't do anything. Giratina being able to just kill that is pretty solid. We get into the V-Star. we could at least potentially get a fire energy and get attacks off, whereas if we go into Crobat, we could whiff. And like this could get us a Crobat. Saw fire energy. I like that. But I'm thinking we go energy retrieval. We can get both energies back. And quick ball, we get into Crobat. Does become an easy target for them, but it's fine. Do this before retrieval. And then yeah, the D280, we've just got the Giratina, don't we? That we could snipe something off their bench, but then Palkia swings into us. Giratina's what? Lost on 2 energy? Might go for it, to be honest. Play that down before he locks us out of being able to use them. And yeah, we'll Ultra Ball away these two. Get into another V-Star. Just before he comes out with Vikavolt and doesn't let us do anything. Dragonite V, that's kind of interesting. Isn't there another one that does like 250 damage? Or are they running it for the V-Star? They've got to be running it for the V-Star. Okay. Okay, so if we do that, we get that back. And then I'm thinking just attach Gardenia. Because like this is likely going to get knocked out in a second. It knocks that out. This one comes up. We use Goodra's attack. We take less damage. We just sit. I think we're in an alright spot. The tricky bit becomes we do have a Crobat they can easily target up with Boss or Serena. Not sure what they're doing here. Maybe they don't have an energy to attach for turn, or like there's Training Court in play. Get it back, attach. Super Zap Cannon. Oh, that's shy of a knockout, actually. Okay, Paralyzing Bolt again. Cool. Yeah, now they're gonna try and go Zap Cannon next turn. So we just, I don't know, gust that up. Deck's getting a little thin. Might be concerning. Like, we gust the Raikou up, they just attach for turn hard retreat, which they could do with Melanie. We do it to the Dragonite. Same thing, they can just attach one hard retreat. But having to discard 2 energy is a little bit more costly. Okay, they're just really going for that Greninja draw. Like, if they did that, their Dragonite's essentially out of play for the game then, for being able to charge back up, and they're just fully invested in the Vikavolt being their attacker. If they did Super Zap Cannon as well, discarding 2 more energies, then that attacker's out for the game, and it's just, hey, knock it out, knock it out. And with both of them being in range of Goodra's attack, it's a pretty good spot for us. That discard an energy from us? Shit. What do we have for retrieval cards? Just Palpad. So we know for sure we're able to get into Balloon, which is good. Yeah, let's do that. Is there any effects we're concerned about? Done to all of our Pokemon. I don't think there's any effects in regards to that we're concerned about. Let's get that. Attach there. Oh no, chuck that down just cuz. Research, we get into the Palpad to be able to prevent ourselves from decking out. We have Escape Rope, potentially. But if we Escape Rope, they just bring up the Greninja. Whereas if we Balloon, we swing through that. We use... Let me get this out of here. We use Goodra's attack, and we're fine. I'm thinking we just go boss. Gardenia boss? Yeah. Yeah, 230, we take 80 less. So I don't think there's any way they can come up and one-shot us. The knockouts they could take are this Regidrago, like any of these 3, but if they knock out any of those 3, then this just comes up and repeats. It's doing 230, so it's killing any of their Vs in one shot with Goodra. We also have Giratina, we've got Duraludon to get through effects, we've got Garchomp to just pierce through things. There's also Training Court, so if they do try and pull shenanigans where it's like getting rid of our fire energy, we're fine. So Starmie is doing 50 for each energy, is 200, 230 with the choice spell, but then minus 80, so 150. Yeah, and then we just swing through it. Nice. Came together.
Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you liked it. And if you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button just to let me know. There should be a couple other videos popping up on the screen though, so why don't you give those a look if you want some more shenanigans. Till next time, take care of yourself.